your career and SAP Hybris?
My career, I started programming when I was a young boy, actually, and I've had a lot of different roles. I actually wrote software, I implemented software. I wound up moving into a pre-sales role, and then sales, and then business development, and I came to SAP in a pre-sales role, actually. I've been with SAP for almost 12 years now, and I moved from pre-sales into business development and then into marketing, and I currently lead strategic marketing for SAP Hybris. SAP Hybris is the customer experience division of SAP, so our solutions help companies deliver great customer experiences. So we help marketers market better, we help salespeople sell better, we help customer service people deliver better customer service interactions. Our e-commerce solutions enable some great interactions online. And then we have our customer identity and customer data solution, which manages all of the rich data that is required to deliver interactions in the modern marketplace.
What are the takeaways from your presentation today, Marketing with Purpose?
The takeaways from today's presentation really are around knowing your customer deeply and knowing your business deeply, finding that purpose that connects you with your customers. Because people today, millennials especially, are looking for brands that have a greater purpose beyond just creating shareholder value or paying people salaries. They're looking to attach to things that are larger than the business or themselves. And so it's really about knowing those customers and then having this purpose that you can articulate to them and getting the message out using technology to find ways to incorporate that into your campaigns, amplifying your customers' voices on social media, and really communicating that purpose to the marketplace.
Does the personalized salutation in an email contribute to a unique customer experience? And what we can do to improve customer experience? Can you give us some examples?
Sure. So, it's funny, a lot of times I talk about the difference between personalization and individualization. And personalization is exactly that, right? Dear Johann. And when you start an email with that, it's like, okay, so you know my name. It's not really a personalized experience. To really be personal, you have to understand more about me, and you have to understand my preferences. You have to understand what I'm trying to achieve, the things that are important to me. And so creating individualized experiences. So I'll give you an example. If you go to a car dealership, right? Many car dealerships pride themselves on a customer service experience. So you go in and you get coffee, and the salesperson spends a lot of time with you going over the details of the car, especially when you're picking that car up from the dealer. They want to walk you through all of these things. It feels personal, but it's not personalized. It's not individualized because they didn't ask you what you wanted. Maybe you just wanted to come in, you'd already read about the car, you'd already taken a test drive of the car, you knew what you wanted, you just wanted to buy it, get it, and leave. So individualizing an experience is about deeply knowing your customer and then meeting that customer in the channels and in the ways that they want to be engaged. And then they'll engage with you. If you just send me an email with my name, I delete it like everything else.
Yeah, sure. I do the same. When we talk about achieving a personalized customer experience using context to tailor interaction, assuming for context we need information, what are the main questions that we need to answer? I read your article and there are 3 questions that we need to answer.
I try to remember. I've written a lot of articles. I was going to say, I think the questions you have to answer really are different for each industry, and that's the most powerful piece, is understanding what's relevant, because a consumer industry, you need to get to a different level of detail about the individual than in a B2B industry, right? But it's really about what are their motivations, what are the big things that they attach to, and what are their preferences in terms of communication channel and willingness to share that personal information.
Okay, before digital transformation, we need to change the mindset of the employees in the company to be customer first, a really customer-centric enterprise. Is customer experience still priming companies' digital transformation? And what is your view on Balkan countries when it comes to digital adoption?
That's a long question.
Yes, it is, I know.
So I think that the Balkan countries are adopting digital pretty quickly, from what I can tell. I mean, just looking around, right? Digital Day and all of the signage. It's very much about the social media channels here. I saw a lot of people out on the break. They're on social. They're on Instagram. They're on Snapchat, right? So as far as I can tell, it seems like the digital adoption is really going very strong here. What's interesting when you talk about digital transformation is that it goes beyond just the traditional marketing and web experiences, right? The big question now is, how do I bring digital into the heart of my business, where I'm transitioning from selling products or services to delivering complete experiences. And if we look at big brands like Under Armour, for example, they're moving, you can go read their shareholder reports. They're moving from considering themselves as a traditional sneakers and t-shirts kind of business to a digital business with MyFitnessPal and all of the digital sensors that they now build into their clothes. They're offering a whole digital platform with services, and that's where the revenue expansion is going to happen. And so the experience that you have on that platform is central to whether or not you want to consume that good. Right? And it's a digital good that you're paying for, so it's not just the company's website or how you buy the product, like through e-commerce, but rather core to what is that service offering. And then what's wrapped around it? What is the customer service experience like? How do I find that service? How do I buy that service? How do I use that service? How do I get help? And that's really where we're seeing the differentiation happening. It is very much in the experience layer. And that's in response to commoditization, because there are so many different examples in every industry of how a good, a product, a service has been commoditized.
Storytelling is a part of customer-company two-way conversations relationship. What role do artificial intelligence and conversational systems play, and how to avoid a brand breakup?
How to avoid it. So, two questions in one. Well, so how to avoid a brand breakup. We did some consumer research last year. We surveyed 20,000 consumers, and the number one reason why they would abandon a brand, surprisingly, wasn't experience. Experience was second, third, and fourth, and so on. The number one reason was that a brand would do something with their data without them knowing about it. So that's the main reason why customers break trust with a brand and leave, is if the brand does something with that customer's data. The data is also at the heart of artificial intelligence, because AI is only as good as the data that those algorithms are applied to, right? So you need to get the data, but you need to get the data through a consent-driven way, in accordance with not only the laws, because we have GDPR in Western Europe, and I understand that Serbia is looking at a similar regulation this year as well. So not only do we have to respect the laws, but more importantly, we have to respect the individual. And the individuals are saying, we want data privacy and we want transparency. We want to know what you're doing with our data, right? And so gathering that data is becoming harder for companies. They have to be more transparent about it. And then they have to find the right artificial intelligence algorithms to apply to that to create a natural feeling experience for the customer. The good news is that if you get it right, it's incredibly helpful, because when you think about the amount of products, the amount of services, the amount of ads, we as consumers are exposed to over 4,000 ads a day. So we're being bombarded with information. And so having recommendations, having filters that help us make sense of all of this information by targeting us with the information that we find most relevant, that's where AI helps us. And the brands that figure out how to employ AI so it's not a hard pitch, but brands like Netflix or Amazon, where they're making recommendations based on your viewing history, based on other people who have similar viewing behaviors, that adds value. And so now consumers are expecting that sort of behavior across the board from all the brands that they deal with.
Great marketers always know how to tell a great story. But the question is that story worth following? How to tell a great story? What is your advice?
My advice on telling a great story, again, it starts with knowing your audience, right? Because not every story will resonate with every audience. And then it has to be impactful. It has to follow an actual story arc. Many times marketers want to just skip right to the value right? And you need to build up the plot line and create a character. The brand can be the central character in the narrative, but again, in alignment with my talk today, it has to be about purpose. The best stories are the stories that connect to something that's bigger than a product or bigger than a brand or bigger than even us as individuals. And so rather than talking about how your company will deliver more value to a consumer or deliver more value to another customer, talk about your purpose. How is it going to make people's lives better? How does it change the world? How does it improve our environment? How does it make our city safer? And that way, people can attach to that because it's emotional and it's personal. And only through emotion and personal connection can you actually get your point across, because then people open up, right? If they perceive that you're just telling them a story about how to make, how I'm going to help you be more efficient in your daily life, well, that's kind of interesting, but I've got 1,000 other people trying to tell me how I can do better in my daily life or in my work, right? When you make it emotional and you attach to something bigger than your business, then that's when people will listen.
Many companies fall into a trap of believing that a hyper-personalized experience is always better, but reality is something else, isn't it?
It is. And a great example is the gas station. I don't want a hyper-personalized experience when I go to the gas station. I would love a little bit, right? If I go to the same gas station all the time for fuel, it would be great if they could scan my license plate and pre-select the type of gas my car takes, right? But I don't need it to be any more personal than that. In fact, to me, a good experience is when I am in and out quickly. And that's why I would want the gas pump to already know my payment method and the kind of fuel that my car takes, because then I don't have to fumble for my credit card and put it in the pump and hit the right button and do all of that. So that's where, again, when we talk about individualized experiences, it's not necessarily always hyper-personal. It's really about knowing what does the individual want. One person may want a hyper-personal experience, which is long and slow and may take time and may be a long conversation. Somebody else may value speed. Just get me in and get me out as fast as possible, which means I just want the thing that I want waiting for me at the counter when I walk in. It doesn't have to be hyper-personalized. So that's really what I would encourage people to think about. Is it's not about creating one experience and then trying to personalize it for people. It's about understanding that you have to offer a range of experiences, because a great experience is really in the mind of the individual.